the next team that we wanted to hit on here was Hanwha Life. Let's hop on into it. So
I can't wait.
We got Hanwha Life in here. And I'll leave this one to you. Dom, go ahead. Your thoughts here.
I mean, I feel like this is all LS right here.
Okay,
just
go ahead.
I mean, it's
take us to church,
yeah.
LS.
Yeah, I mean, it's Chovy Life Esports. I mean, that's literally that's all it is. The only reason to tune into this team, Chovy. That's literally it. I mean, it's like, so the analogy that I gave on stream during the co-stream, right, is it's like watching Superman surrounded by kryptonite, but then still trying to save the world. Like that's actually just what it is. I mean, he literally has at times 4 teammates just dragging him down. Like Deft sometimes shows up and Deft is like there, but then most of the time Deft is also sometimes dragging him down. It's really like Superman and Batman. It's like it's the relationship, you know, where like Batman's human tendencies like sometimes just causes a problem. But like this is just like I don't know. Chovy's pretty much an enigma though. If like NA fans or, you know, Western viewers never watch LCK and they watch this episode or something like that, Chovy is the best CSer in the entire world. It is bizarre what ends up happening. If Chovy has like 11 CS a minute, he's probably having a bad game. Like
doesn't he average like 12 CS a minute in solo queue? Like that was insane.
Yeah.
That's
Chovy.
Crazy.
He's something else. Because if you listen to some of the voice comms from teams of previous years, Chovy just has a lot of authority on everything that's going to happen. There's one that stands out to me in DRX, and I remember I was casting the game, but then I commented on it in the listen in, because you know how LCK does like the mic check thingy. I commented about how Chovy was like the leader of the team, right? But the whole narrative, especially because of like the Corizon interviews and like all this other stuff, right, is that Deft's the leader because he's the oldest.
Yeah, I hate that.
The actual mic check from the game was the players start telling each other to like shut up, right, and to just like be calm because they're distracting Chovy, and they literally just say, just follow Chovy. They literally just said, just follow Chovy, like whatever he does. Chovy's not talking, right, but they're like, just be ready to go in.
Damn.
And he was on Aurelia. Like I mean, someone could probably find the game, but it was they literally just told each other to be quiet because they're distracting him. And I'm like, okay, like if this doesn't, like, what's going on? Like, what?
I mean, Deft just doesn't seem like he would ever be a leader though. Like if you know like Deft who he was in his career and stuff like that, like he's like somebody who would be like, you know, the like he's like the quiet star where you just kind of like let him do his thing and he's going to carry the game. He's more of like a reckless type to me when I think of like who he resembles. He's not somebody who's going to be like, I need the resources, do this. Like, this is how we're going to win the game. Like, that just doesn't sound like him.
He's the reckless with the perks.
The other thing about those comms, I mean, it might come from like the Griffin era where they were known for not talking. Like that was their thing, right? Is that they don't talk while team fighting.
I like that.
Yes, I like it too. I also think that I think that like silent scrims, and I think that like so for instance, whenever I listen to like NA comms, I mean it causes pressure.
Silent scrims is something every team in the world should run.
Yes.
There's so many different things. Oh man, there's so many different strategies.
Where you suck. Really, it makes it really clear.
Wait,
It's going cold turkey. That's what it is. It's going cold turkey. When you have comms, it's like taking medicine, right? It removes the symptoms. Or like it might not cure what you have, but
I see.
Right? You don't feel the pain.
It fixes bad brain because
right
because someone else is thinking for you.
Carrying you. Yeah, someone else is right. So when a jungler says like, "Oh, you should have told me to gank." No, you should realize the gank is obvious.
Yep. Or as a laner, you should know where the fucking jungler is too.
Yes, right. It goes both ways. Right, it goes both ways. So this is why I'm a really big comms hater. I hate the narrative about communication. I really, really hate the word communication. I really hate people when they say that comms are important. They're not. Like, because ultimately League is just it's a language, right? If you go back in time so many years, current like present day tower dives where like people juggle turret aggro or like, you know, they juggle certain spells, they use Zanyas and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, complex turret dives. Obviously, people don't need comms to coordinate those, right? They just understand. Like if all of their game knowledge is at a high enough level, comms only become necessary when there's a gap between player skill, because the better player has to tell the worst player what to do, right? The reason I don't like comms as like an argument is because people think that both should have equal input, but it's like really weird. I mean, this is a whole episode in and of itself, right? Talking about like comms
no. This is fascinating. This is absolutely fascinating.
But Griffin was so good because you listen to their mic checks; they don't talk. Like it's either you understand what's going on or you don't. And I think most LCK teams are actually like this.
What the are you supposed to be saying in a team fight? Like, what do you think it really helps that much in a team fight to have Trimby yelling in your ear, "Ellie, no flash! Ellie, no flash! Ellie, 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 Ellie!" Like, what? I don't. Yes, we're gonna hit the Alistar that's in front of us. What else are we gonna do? Like, the only times, like, there's only like small things that should be communicated. It's like, hey, like if the 80's flash is like 10 seconds or something, it's like 80 has no flash for 10 seconds. Like that could be really useful of like input of communication into the fight, just so that everyone's on the same page, like reading the fight the same way. I think that there should be like some level of like prep going into the fight of like just like generally just like an idea of like how we want to fight it front to back, like whatever. This guy has no flash, and then it should just play out. Like you should just know what's gonna happen afterwards. So
yeah.
I think that there's like a bunch of things. When I was talking to Nelson, he said that three things that LPL does a lot of, or three things that LPL does that like I haven't heard of in NA, is they do silent scrims. So they do a scrim set with zero comms. Then they also do a wardless scrim. Like they don't do this like every day. They're not doing multiple sets, but they do a wardless scrim so that they have to like track the jungler and the enemy team based off just communication. And like they have to get like they're trying to get better at like predicting the things they might not see in game. Want to support resets with the jungler, like where they could be going, that type of stuff. And they also just do like first 10 minutes, like just like micro scrims where they play against their challenger team and they just like reset the game after like the first like 10 minutes. So they don't do like a bunch of these remakes in scrims like NA does. They do purposeful like 10 to 15 minute scrims where it's like we're playing until first Herald, we're playing until first Dragon, something like that. Like let's just try to like, you know, tune in the early game like as much as possible. So I feel like all three of those could be like really useful to at least run on one day, right? Like if you have 4 days, right? Maybe you do it on like if you don't want to have an off day that week, you do it on your Monday where you do like some drills to try to like help the player. And I think it'll be like kind of fun for players. It's a way to break up the monotony of scrimming the same way all the time. Like you have 1 day where you do like different drills so that like, you know, you're able to get things done that other people don't. So, I mean, dude, if I was a coach in NA, I would implement this instantly. I feel like it's such like an underused skill set. Like the idea of just scrimming 5-on-5 all the time the same way every single day, like I mean it's just not good. Like if you think about how it is as a player, like they all just start fucking it's like highway hypnosis at a point. Like it all just fucking blends together at a point and then you just become a zombie. You're not even like really like thinking the same way you normally would think it.